This has devastated our beginning in a way that has never happened in many years in Seymour.
Right now at 6 on Connecticut's news station, students in Seymour are set to return to class today, albeit with some obstacles in the way. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin will join us with the details.
The first day of school delayed in Oxford while crews rebuild roads and bridges. When we could learn the date students return to class and a look at the progress being made to fix the damage.
Electricity rates in Connecticut are just too damn high.
Lawmakers speaking up again about those rising electric bills, calling for a special session to try to figure out how to bring them down. But Governor Lamont has said not so fast. We'll explain why.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning, sunshine. 6 o'clock on this Wednesday. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lamberson. I've been there. That pause just for a second. Oh, yeah, Wednesday. Okay, good. Over to meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli, who's got the forecast. Still looking at the possibility of some strong thunderstorms today, or is it?
We're actually trending in the right direction.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we are, it has looked a little lackluster now, which is great news. So it's going to be mainly hot and humid. There could be an isolated storm later on today, but that chance for most of us to get a storm is very unlikely. So maybe one or two towns seeing a brief downpour later on, just given the fact that we have higher humidity out there today. And we also have a muggy morning and a humid afternoon. Right now it looks quite nice over in Hartford, though. 72 degrees, so it is muggy. Winds out of the south around 6 miles per hour there. Elsewhere, we're in the upper 60s in Torrington as well as in Waterbury, 75 degrees in Bridgeport. Noticing our humidity levels are in the mid to upper 60s in spots, lower 70s along the shoreline. So it is muggy to start this morning. So moving forward, although our high temperatures today will be close to the upper 80s, you want to dress for the middle 90s this afternoon. When you factor in that higher humidity, around 94 degrees at 2 o'clock is what it will likely feel like. Then as we approach our Thursday looks nice with temperatures in the 70s, around 74 degrees on Friday. Take a look at Friday morning lows in the mid 50s. Going to feel like a little taste of fall. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit. 6:02 on the road. Symphony, good morning.
Thank you, Rachel. Let's check out how things are shaping up so far on the roads on this Wednesday morning. Things moving smoothly out there. Now, we do still have some of those road closures related to the storm out in western Connecticut. But this morning, taking a live look out at I-84 through downtown Hartford, things look much clearer this morning as opposed to yesterday when we were seeing a lot of fog out there. We do want to remind you to be on the lookout for little ones walking to school and getting on the bus this morning. Taking a look at our drive time. Smooth sailing for you on 91 South, 84 East heading toward the Hartford Tunnel, and Route 2 in the Glastonbury area also looking good. Your next update coming up at 6:30. 6:03 now. Today marks another step in the return to normal for folks out in Seymour. Students will head off to school this morning to start a new year of learning.
Yeah, the superintendent said she felt it was important to start school on time just to help people move forward after last week's flooding. Now, Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live at Seymour High School this morning. Brooke, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning to you as well. So this morning, those local leaders and the superintendent are all going to be here at Seymour High School, along with a few other schools in the district. They're visiting because they say they want to remind students that they have support during this time of which they're maybe dealing with flood damage at their home and also just trying to navigate going back to school for this new semester. Now, there are around 2,000 students here in this district and only a handful of schools. Today, those students and the staff members will make their way into the classroom for the first time this fall. Superintendent Susan Compton tells us she felt starting the year on time is an important way to establish some sort of normalcy back into this community. Now, the good news, Compton says all of the bus routes are expected to run as scheduled this morning. She tells us due to the remaining road closures, some teachers and staff are going to face challenges getting to school depending on where they live. However, local leaders say things really could have been much worse.
They get a lot more damage up that way than we did here, for sure. For sure. Seymour is really blessed, to say blessed. You know, we have 16 businesses out, 10 families, homes were affected by this. I don't want to say we're blessed, but we were blessed because we did not receive the damages that Oxford, Southbury, Newtown, Monroe have all received.
And she mentioned Oxford in that soundbite there. we want to talk about them too. They were supposed to go back to school this morning as well, but that's now not the case. They're maybe going back next week after Labor Day instead. We spoke with the superintendent, who says he just wants to give everybody a little extra time to figure things out after that flooding happened, and then they'll reassess and try to go back next week. And now, as far as Seymour, they have offered Oxford some help. They're giving up some of their buildings and resources if they need it. We'll be following that for the next week or so. Live in Seymour, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Brooke, thank you for that report.
Already out today, we could learn when exactly students in Oxford will start their new school year. School and town leaders are expected to discuss which roads are ready for traffic and if enough roads are repaired for buses to safely drive on. Officials say kids could return to school as soon as next week.
Well, more road work is getting done. Here's a before and after of Route 34 right near the Stevenson Dam. It had been closed between Route 111 and Coppermine Road, but not anymore. DOT crews said they worked all week to get that road repaired. Looks like they did a great job. Now, at 9:45 this morning, Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal are expected to tour flood damage in Oxford. Blumenthal will then go to Southbury along with the USDA to meet with farmers. He'll also visit with homeowners in Middlebury who have been impacted by the flooding. And we've talked a lot about efforts to get both federal and state funding in, but there's more that needs to be done to help people recover.
Yeah, and you can help Fox 61 lend a helping hand this Thursday, so that's tomorrow. Join the Fox 61 Flood Relief Drive. We are collecting supplies and monetary donations. It's happening from 8 to 11 a.m. at the Seymour Oxford Food Bank. That's at 20 Pine Street in Seymour. Visit fox61.com/flood relief, or you can bring your phone right up to your TV screen here to scan that QR code to learn how you can help.
Now, if you're planning to donate, the food bank says it's most in need of water, shelf-stable food, sanitary products, diapers, and reusable shopping bags. As for some of the things you shouldn't bring, first of all, open containers of food, perishable food, refrigerated food. They also don't want clothing, household items, and medication. Again, that flood relief drive is Thursday, tomorrow, from 8 to 11 a.m. If you can't make it out, tune in at 10 a.m. for our special coverage. All right, now to a Fox 61 follow-up as people across the state are hoping to see something done to address their rising electric bills.
Yeah, a lot of folks dealing with that. Keith and I often joke about getting the paper bill, or I get the text message.
It's a block.
Yeah. Well, now Republican lawmakers here want the governor to call everyone back to the Capitol to figure out a relief plan. But right now, it looks like everyone isn't on the same page. We're checking in with Fox 61's Lindsay Kane, joining us live outside the Capitol this morning with the latest. Lindsay, what have you learned?
Hi, good morning. Well, unfortunately, it looks like people are stuck with those high electric bills, at least for now. Now, Governor Lamont says he doesn't think a special session is the right way to address this, saying it can wait until the General Assembly convenes in January. But Republican lawmakers argue that people don't have that kind of time, and people that are struggling need help now. Now, Republican lawmakers are trying to lower bills for people across the state, specifically by eliminating the controversial public benefits portion of electric bills. The spike in customers' Eversource bills stems from the public benefits portion, which funds state energy programs, including millions of dollars of unpaid bills during the pandemic. It's a fee that goes back to the state. Utility companies like Eversource and United Illuminating just collect those fees based on usage. Republican lawmakers demanding Governor Lamont agrees to a special session to help lower costs, including eliminating that portion of the bill. Instead, they're proposing using the state budget surplus and COVID relief funds to cut the costs being added to ratepayers. Governor Lamont responding, saying he doesn't think a special session would be productive. But Republicans say their phones are ringing off the hook with people calling looking for help.
What we continue hearing from our constituents isn't that I don't want to pay my electric bill. It's I can't pay my electric bill.
Well, despite saying a special session would not be likely, the governor is meeting with the Electric and Technology Committee in the coming days. But for now, ratepayers are stuck with those bills. Live in Hartford this morning, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Hi, Lindsay. Thank you. 6:09 in Hartford this morning. Police are still looking for the person who shot a teenager. Officers said they got called to Huntington Street around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. That's just a few blocks east of St. Francis Hospital. They told us a 15-year-old boy was shot, but he is expected to survive. If you know anything about the shooting, call the Hartford police.
A Bridgeport man charged in the death of an infant is due in court this morning. 31-year-old Dale Kirkland is charged with risk of injury to a child and cruelty to persons. Police say he was the last person to see the infant alive at the Mayflower Hotel in Milford. Housekeeping staff found the infant unresponsive in a bathtub last Wednesday. Officials say Kirkland is related to the baby. Right now, he's being held on a $1 million bond, and he is on a mandated suicide watch. In the meantime, the Department of Children and Families confirmed it was involved with the infant's family for about a month before the infant's death. A spokesperson tells us the agency has already started a review of its work, which will include its, quote, knowledge about the family, supports provided, casework decisions, adherence to policy, and best case practices, as well as communication with multiple community stakeholders who were involved with the family, end quote. Now, DCF says it also continues a joint investigation with Milford Police into the infant's death.